that I walked. Yeah, I was in the car trying to get myself together. Nigga up the blizzard.
New York City parks.
It's the Bronx, so I'm disrespectful.
They need like I'm saying that'd be a lit business to start too, son.
Parking lots. That's what we need to do. Buy empty plots.
All these spots vacant shit in the Bronx too.
Yeah, angle that.
The whole New York City get a parking, get like 5 joints in the hand.
Hell yeah, downtown.
Get a few joints, yeah, just get some joints. We're a little closer so niggas can hear you. Okay, alright, so if you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. I'm Quindell Evans, bluepoetry.com. Right now, I'm with my bro Kamoni, and we just gonna hash it up and talk about a few things, you feel me? This has been my brother for about 10 years, over 10 years. And we've done a lot of legendary things together. You know, we started a real legendary clique in college. That's when we met. At Buffalo State, we impacted the campus in a very fun way, a very effective way, you know. To the point where, I don't know, I feel like there still might be some voids on that campus, bro. We might have still got our print.
Who knows if his voice is definitely Chake on that campus. So I'll never go back.
we might have left our print physically there. We've, you know, done projects together. We've done blogs together. Lived together quite a few times. And I would say that this guy definitely motivated me to become an entrepreneur and not sit in the corporate world and you know, venture off and become blue poetry, what you see right now, you feel me? Cause I probably would have, I probably would have found my way here, but just probably in a different way. But he gave me that push. So you want to introduce yourself? Give a little.
What's going on, family?
Auto.
My name is Kamoni from the Bronx. Here with my brother Quindell, my brother Sean, is also from the Bronx. Me and Quindell met in college, as he told y'all. This nigga was off the fucking hook from day one. Don't get it twisted. Y'all see this nigga is the man he is right now. He's come a long way, a very long way. And that's really what it's about, this journey.
Okay. I definitely was off the hook. I do be having, you know, flashbacks, times that make me want to go right back to the way it used to be. But, yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun in my time. You know, I'm not going to deny it. And I look forward to more fun. I'm not going to hold you. I look forward to way more times, way more off the hook times. You know? There's always room to have fun, get off the hook sometimes. So first off, do you want to explain to the people, you know, like one of the let me ask you this: what's one of the most memorable moments we had in college?
We was tweaking in college. The entire time we was there. So much to the fact that I honestly don't remember a lot of that shit. It's really a blur, family. A nigga was high in class. I once remember Quindell after a party. We used to take these big yellow buses to parties and shit and get fucked up on the bus. After one of those parties, we coming home on the bus, and all I know is it was fucking cold as fuck. And I'm walking as fast as I can. I turn around and Quindell has a girl in his hands. Holding like the bitch is the Sleeping Beauty. She's knocked out. He walks the girl home. Bruh. Too much to be said. I can't even say nothing. I can't. We lived in college. We lived in an apartment on the college campus. We had a dog and a gun.
None of those are allowed on college campuses.
A pit bull and a gun. Damn, it's just so much. It's just so much insanity. I remember one time there was a carnival on the campus, freshman year. I went to the carnival up the block, and I came back into the dorm that we lived in, the freshman dorm, and everybody was telling me that my roommate was running around with his underwears on, only his drawers. Completely confused. This picture's online. One Halloween, we decided that we was gonna be girls going wild, and actually drew up contracts, took a mop and put a sock over it, grabbed the old VHS camera, and walked around campus having girls show us their tits.
It worked, actually. That was actually.
I told you what we did. That's exactly what happened.
It was actually a successful Halloween costume.
Damn, it's just retarded shit. Just retarded shit. I can't get too deep into it, family. It's crazy. What you want to talk about, bro? Let's get into current events. Let's talk about something relevant and contemporary.
Alright, because I think all of those things have a heavy impact on how we got here today, you know? Like being that free and doing all these things and trying all these things. I actually think the Girls Gone Wild costume was probably the beginning to my like inventiveness, my entrepreneurship.
Hand-drawn t-shirts.
Yeah, you know, I hand drew Girls Gone Wild on the front of the t-shirts, and on the back I put film crew and gave everybody a t-shirt. The thing though, I was 17 at the time, you know, freshman year, and you know, Kamoni was 18 or 19.
I believe it was 18.
So he could go to the clubs.
Yeah,
We wanted to go to the clubs, Girls Gone Wild, but we couldn't get in because we was 17. So we had to go to the house parties. So we went to the frat parties, you know. And at that time, I don't think at that time, just period. You know, black girls is high as a ditty when it comes to stuff like that. So they wasn't even going to show us their bodies. So we knew we had to go to the White House parties. And the white girls, they ain't ask no questions. They just pointed at us, Girls Gone Wild, and then just popped their titties out straight up. So that was probably when I realized, like, I can do whatever I want to do.
We could create things.
Like this creativity thing can go a long way.
Yes, it's
You know,
effective.
like-
Other people will feel this if I just put some effort into it.
Put some effort into it. It took me a whole night. I was up all night drawing them t-shirts the day before Halloween. Yeah, we
Printed them out. Niggas had the header, the Girls Gone Wild official header from the website. Bruh,
we
like-
had official Girls Gone Wild contracts so that girls wouldn't, you know, try to get us in trouble for showing they boobs to us, because we put this online or something which we didn't. There's a story behind why we didn't, or why I didn't, but we could save that for another time.
What about the time Quindell had an Asian girlfriend?
Oh man.
And I was playing a video game, and him and his girlfriend was chilling in the room. They was sleeping, and then I think the girl gets up and leaves or something like that, and Quindell's still sleeping. I'm playing a video game in the room sleeping. Playing a video game room, Quindell's over there on the other side of the room sleeping in bed or whatever. Quindell wakes up 2 hours later, and he wants to fight me. He's telling me that I had to save him. Why did you hear me screaming? I couldn't move my body. I'll let him explain that one first.
I don't want to explain that one. I don't want to explain that one. I'll just keep it short and simple. So it's, you know, I think I just had a hex on me, but I don't want to
Tell
talk
him about the
that.
class you was taking at the time.
Man, he wants the details. Alright, so alright, damn. So he just hopped. He went like a few years in though. He went like literally 2 years in.
That was sophomore year?
That was junior year, bro. The hex was a 3-year hex. So
the first time it happened was freshman year.
First time was 2009, the end of the year. So this was like, you know, April,
What's
May.
That's some fraternity shit?
Nah,
A
son.
hex.
Like
This
the
was a
actual,
hex.
like, some-
Ghost.
Yeah, there was some other joints.
I'm
So
not gonna call it a demon. It was like a.
it was just a hex. So 2009, she wasn't my girl yet. But what happened was there was this Vietnamese girl. I ain't gonna say her name. But you know, this is my story. I'm sticking to it because
I'll tell you right now.
because it had the way it happened. It was I you know, like the way things happen is like it doesn't just happen this way for no reason. But I remember you know, like they be making us do like these you're freshman to camp, they make you do like these funny programs. You know, you went to the program, it was like we had a program downstairs in the basement of Newman. And there was like a diversity program. And they was asking all different types of questions about, you know, hashing things out. And they was writing down. So at first it was like, everybody say stuff about black people, let's just get it out. And people like nigger and all this stuff, like slave and all that. And then they did white people terms, and then they did like Asian terms. And they was just making people hash stuff out so that we could get it out and not have
So
this
we don't have
issue.
no.
Yeah.
Nah, wasn't there an incident though? There was an
There was
incident.
an incident with Lindell where they violated him.
Yeah.
But that was kind of weak though. But
Yeah, that was one.
but he took it hard. But
Shouts out to my brother Lindell.
yeah, I think that was because
Help us well, baby.
that was after the election when Barack won, they violated Lindell's door. Once they wrote nigga on his door. But I think that was specifically because he broke the. But anyways,
The fire extinguisher. Okay, let's talk about that.
he broke the.
Let's talk about. Let's get there. Barack Obama won the presidential election.
And we did nigga things on campus.
I walked out my room. I heard people screaming in the hallways.
Like we could have fire
I walked out my room, and I seen Lindell walk out his room at the same time.
Everybody came out at the same time.
He walks up to a fire extinguisher that's sticking out the wall. He puts his hands together and does a Hulk
It was
smash.
a case. It was a fire extinguisher.
It was like a big metal
Inside
case.
a case, yeah, inside the metal
he
case.
He does a Hulk smash
One
and
smash.
the shit just falls. He screams, ah! Then he goes running towards the steps. I didn't see him again for the rest of the night until everybody's outside in the middle of the not the Union Square. It was in front of
Porter, like in the middle of yeah.
This man is running around in his underwear.
In his
There was a
underwear.
lot of niggas
Getting
running
light.
around. It was ridiculous. Why would people run around in their underwear? We went to school in Buffalo.
November
in Buffalo.
November, Buffalo, New York. People, it was like because Barack won, people run around in the drawers, girls and guys.
On college campuses, this happened.
On the college camp, people getting light, breaking things, pulling fire alarms,
Wow.
kicking over garbage cans.
We was on the news getting light.
It was pretty
We was on
wild.
the news getting light.
It was pretty wild. So I think that was why. Like, you know, like they were tight, so they wrote nigga on the door. But I don't know. Let me not make it up. Like, I don't know. But let me get back to the hex. So what happened was during that diversity thing, you know, I said something about Asians. I ain't gonna say what I said, you know, at the time, but I said something about Asians as the Vietnamese girl is walking in. Like, literally, she comes late to the program. So she's walking in as I'm saying this thing. She don't get the gist of what's going on here, so she just takes it personal as she sits down. And the whole time, she's literally staring at me upset like he's racist or he's just, you know, like I'm just that bad guy. When in the moment, I was completing the assignment. So she didn't get the gist and she's upset. So she didn't even, you know, she's just mean mugging me the whole joint. But what happens is somehow towards the end of this was probably the beginning of the semester, towards the end of the spring semester, we become interested in each other. And we ain't do anything or nothing. And remember, I was with Ari at that time, and she would you know, she would knock.
Up.
Yeah, she would pop up. She would kind of knock. She would either knock me or the girl out, one or the other. You know, and 10 times out of 9, she would knock me out because I would be like, chill. You know, and I'll take the hit for the girl. Like, chill. Literally, it was kind of domestic violence. You know, because
Let's talk about men in domestic violence relationships. Let's be this happens, people.
So, like, you feel me? Like, she was beating me. And maybe I deserved it, but I don't know. But like,
Shout out to all men who
But,
have composure.
you know, I kept my composure for the most part. But we ain't gonna go there. But what happened was me and her kind of we was in a class together. It was a class called Food and People. I remember it was NFS 105. I could never forget that. Because of this, I could never forget that class, and I got an A in this. NFS 105, Food and People. It talks about, you know, like different cultures, different foods, the culture of food worldwide. You know, like how people over here eat, how people over here eat, and ABC, literally, Food and People, a cultural food class. So we were in that class together. So we were cool because of that. That's how I think we became interested in each other, because we were in the same class. But, you know, we did until the end of the semester, you know, I forgot how we actually became cool. But I remember I think it was the Q party. We went to the Q party. We both wore the Y3 jackets.
Okay, yeah, the golden explosion or whatever.
I remember I had a camera and I was on mode. I don't know if you remember. I was the taking picture with as much girls as I can in the party for no reason. I don't know if you remember that. Like, I used to just take pictures with girls. Like,
random.
That was my thing. Like, I had the camera.
That's a culture now.
Yeah.
It's ahead of your time.
Yeah, like I was just take pictures with girls. Like, yo, you look nice. I look nice. Let's take a picture.
That's how you know. Do it, though.
I used to just take pictures with girls. So that was my thing. And like probably like 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10 girls, I was getting them. You feel me? Even if it was a year later, that picture solidified. Like I got a chance or not. Like it was like
look at us, girl.
Yeah.
You look good.
You know. So like.
Give a nigga some pussy.
So like.
No front.
So like, I took a picture with her at the party, and that was like, all right, I don't know, like maybe it's, you know, whatever. But I took a picture with her, and then we hung out in her room, in her dorm. She lived downstairs. She lived in Newman on the first floor. We lived in the third. I hung out in her room and went to eat with her in the dining hall. That's all I did. We ain't do nothing. We ain't kissing nothing. Like I was not gonna. We didn't go there, and that's not how I even. You know, like I have a different way to go about things, but I remember eating with her, and then that night was over. That night the hex was on. When I went to sleep, it was crazy. It was like a crazy.
Explain the hex. Explain the specific. Explain the specific hex.
All right. So the specific thing was, and this is, so the thing was, I would go to sleep, and no matter if I'm on my back or on my chest, it would feel like something is holding me down, but I'm awake and I can see things in the room right now moving. Like if I was asleep right here and I was having that hex being put on me, I could see them smoking and everything. But it would kind of be a glitch. It would always be a glitch, meaning like I would probably see someone come in the room, but that didn't really happen. It would always be something that didn't really happen, that happens. But the thing that's happening, I can see too. So it's always was that. And then I wake up and that thing that wasn't happening, I would be like, that, what? Like that didn't just happen? That's why I would know that it's a hex. So like I would feel like I was holding down, but I would kind of be like screaming though. I would kind of be like, yo, screaming in the dream for the people to kind of help me out, wake me up. And I'd be but I'm not screaming though.
Dreaming.
Yeah, like I'm not screaming, but I would be thinking that I'm screaming. I'll be thinking that I'm screaming out for them to help me get this thing off me, but I can't. The funny thing is, like, there's people who could have this without a hex being put on them or nothing, but that was what happened to me. That was a hex. Because I didn't know that first. But what happened was, remember, I was in that class, Food and People. And in the class, literally, I remember her birthday was around the time, too. And we had numbers, we exchanged numbers, so she texted me, you know, she went out for her birthday and she got drunk. And she was coming late to class, so she texted me like, yo, I'm gonna be late to class, just let me know what's going on when I get there, da-da-da-da. So she gets to the class, and like as she's walking, like right before she walks in, the teacher has a slide. The teacher's doing you know how they be doing like the slides, the cheap way to teach. She had like a PowerPoint, and the slide was about the Vietnamese culture and how they can put this hex on you through eating with them. And I'm like, I ate with her. And that happened. This is crazy. I was like, yo, this is mad. And as the teacher changes the slide, She walks in, like right after. The funny thing is I have every PowerPoint the teacher does in class, they send it to you so you can have record of it. So I have the PowerPoint record to like show. I'm showing my friends like, yo, look, this is what I've learned. And this she put this X on me, da 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 da.
Got me.
Yeah, she got me. The funny thing is when she walked in class, she was like, I'm drunk, da da da. Can I sit next to you? But she comes, she's like, I text back no, and then the text goes unable to send. Bro, I got Verizon. That doesn't happen. So like I'm like this is different. I text back, I retry, no, unable to send. I text back, yes, it goes through with no problem. Like, oh, this is crazy. Like, it was a different kind of heck. So for like 3 years, I was having those dreams. But she had for like maybe like a year and a half, I was having those dreams.
Still in school, yeah. So
yeah, because she was still in the school, but then she left.
Yeah, she did.
When she left, she left the junior year, that was the year. That's what you're talking about, 2011, when this happened with you in the room with me, and that happened. Because freshman year,
when I was in the room with you, it had to be.
I was like 11.
It had to be like 2000. It had to be freshman year because that's when I had the PS2.
Oh, you talking about one of the first times that was happening?
The first time.
Remember, I had to get out the room. I had to go live with Ari. I went to Florida to live with Ari because I couldn't sleep in my bed. I had to literally. That was the only place it wouldn't happen when I was with Ari. I do not know how. But it happened any bed I was in by myself. So like, I had to, I had to like spend a night at any chick crib I was with. Like, it was like, I'm not going to sleep without you. Like,
I need you.
Or even in the bed when I was in my bed with Ari, I had to leave. That was the night I was like, I'm living with you, Ari, because I was with Ari in my bed and it happened. And she woke me up like you were trembling. And I was just like, yo, we out to your room.
They
and
tried to get me.
Yeah, like, they can't get her too. Like, I was...
Yo, no, bitch, this gets spooky. It's spooky.
Yo, you never know what could happen. So, that was the night. I do
up.
remember now the exact moment you're talking about with the video game. We had the actual PlayStation 2 with the memory card and everything.
Yeah, I was lit.
And you was playing the joint and I was having the joint mid-afternoon because we used to take afternoon naps. We had the cold red. It was crazy. But we gonna talk about that. But anyways, it was going on. Cause remember 2011 that happened in the dorm in Towers. You was on my computer and the same thing. I'm like, yo, bro, like, what's up? Like, you ain't hear me screaming? And you said you saw me kind of get up and flop back. But anyways, that was the hex, and that hex was going on for 3 years. What happened was she transferred schools, but every time she was visiting campus, I would have those dreams, and that's how I knew she was on campus. That's how I knew that she was visiting. And, like, I would have those dreams, and I knew, like, in an hour I'm getting a text from her. Like, in an hour I'm getting a text from her. And there was no denying her. There was no, like, texting no. There was no texting, I don't want to see you because the text will not go through. Like, there was no denying her. So I was, like, kind of, like...
Smooth.
I was on some other junk. And like now, if I hit her up, there's no like, none of that, all of that is over, but there's no connecting with her. It's like, there's no connecting in a way. There's no way I could connect with her again probably. Because she probably probably cut that tie. But that was the hex, and that was kind of crazy, it happened for a while. But,
3 years.
Yeah, it was like
nights like that.
Yeah.
What time we slept?
Like I went some every night shit.
Nah, that wasn't 8 night. It was 8 night freshman year, but
That's different.
Tweets.
it was 8 night freshman year. And then it got crazy. It got crazy like junior year, like 2011. I guess when like that's when I like kind of like me and her never talked again. Like after my junior year,
You realize it's over.
but I guess that was kind of like the ending. So it went like crazy and then it just ended. It went like crazy for a good while. Like. Towards the last times I was talking to her. So I guess I was kind of like it was like the end of it, so I had to get crazy and get out of there. But yeah, so that was the hex he was talking about. I didn't really want to talk about it because it's deep, but...
They're trying to get my son. That's why he's so spiritual, yeah.
That's probably what did it,
You have to
though.
rebuke that.
You have to rebuke that, it's real.
That's probably what did it, though, because, like, I probably would have still been in the game crazy. If that wouldn't have happened. But it was the 3 year John. But I was catching break those 3 years. But yeah, that's probably what ended because it did. Like my career of playing around ended around that time. That ended. Like literally, that's what did it though.
When a bitch put a hex on you, your life gonna change.
Yeah, that's crazy. But check this
Watch
out.
yourself.
Yeah, watch out. Don't be like me.
Look the bitch in the eye.
Don't eat these joints. She always had these Vietnamese egg rolls. That's probably what it
Don't
was.
eat bitches.
She said that's from her grandma's back from Vietnam, but I'm like,
Menstrual egg roll.
how are they here in
She
America?
gave you a menstrual egg roll.
I don't want to hear that. But check this out. So that's so 3
What
things.
eggs are these?
What kind of eggs are these?
Red. Is ketchup in it?
So 3 things I want to talk about. You feel me? 3 things I want to talk about.
No.
3 things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the voided shake tumbler.
Okay.
You know, how that impacted you. You know, how that played a part in your life. You know, if that has anything to do with VLONE. Number 2 is I want to talk about T.A.R. You know, like how did you come about that, and Jungle Boys. You know, like
So we got to start with the Jungle Boys. Jungle
bet.
Boys goes first in the chronology of thugging
Okay.
from a young nigga's age. Jungle Boys was started from a lot of the shit we was talking about just now.
Okay.
We were in a hall called Newman, which was supposed to be the wackest hall on campus. It was a freshman dorm.
Notorious.
It's on the outskirt of the campus, away from where it's lit, where people mingle because they naturally cross each other. We decided that since we were by ourselves, we was gonna wild the fuck out. It just so happened across the street there was a mental institution, abandoned mental institution. This is all true story. So we decided we was just gonna be fucking crazy. It started with me and Quindell and our roommate Chris. Shout out to Chris. My son Chris. Does he still work for Range Rover? Land Rover?
Hopefully, I don't know. I
Shout
gotta
out to
holler at
Buffalo
him. I
Chris.
think I deleted him on Facebook when I went
Chris,
through like my conscience.
One
fuck
time
white
Chris
people
knowingly kissed a bitch who had mono and caught mono. Look at that. He knew. He still did it.
Everybody knew she had mono.
He knew. He knew. All his friends caught mono from the bitch. And he still did it.
Nah, he's bugged. Yeah,
Shout out to Chris.
Official Jungle Boy shit.
My man Sean lived up the hall. Shout out to Sean. Lindell lived across the hall, like a little further down the hall from Sean.
Now they was on the 2nd floor though. They
The
was
niggas
on the
on the second
3rd.
floor?
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
was yeah, but
They all
was down
seem like
there.
the same shit to me.
At one
I'll tell you,
point-
this is a blur. I told y'all from the beginning.
Pat was across the hall.
Pat so happened to live across the hall with a nigga who was our age now, 28 years old, in college in the freshman dorm.
Yo, he was weird. He used to always complain.
Shout
when
out
he
to
was turned.
Patrick. Shout out to Ballhead Josh. This is pre-Ballhead. Ballhead Josh.
Before he was Boyhead Josh. I think he went Boyhead literally 2nd year.
We decided we was gonna be the freshman niggas that's wild. So we just went to a bunch of parties, tweaked the fuck out, buying bottles, doing dumb shit, bagging all the bitches, having fun. That so happened to impact the rest of the campus because the college so happened to be boring before we got there. Everybody was on some segregated clique shit and niggas wasn't trying to have fun. We came through having fun. A lot of that shit was shown like when Obama won.
Yeah.
That was some shit that would have never happened if it wasn't all freshman class. Because ultimately where that shit happened at was on the freshman side of the campus.
Yeah.
So, word. That's what that Jungle Boy shit was about. You said Voided Shake. Voided Shake happened a little into the 2nd year of college. It's when we started experimenting with drugs.
Okay.
This is when niggas started smoking weed all day, every day. This is when niggas started doing ecstasy. This is around the first time niggas tried shrooms. We didn't have LSD yet. We didn't have LSD yet. So that was just an artist expression. That was just us realizing that we can create. A lot of the shit Quindell was just talking about. That actually the shit that we do is worth showing to other people. It's other people who do the same shit that we do or similar things to what we do. And we could show ourselves. Tumblr just so happened to be a platform to take fucking pictures. It was some other shit too. Remember Lookbook?
Okay.
What was that shit called?
Yeah, Lookbook.
So we was just wilding. We just so happened to know some websites that had the finest clothes. We had taste. People in Buffalo just dress like how they seen rappers and shit. Them niggas think they in the South. They live in the furthest north and they think they down south. It's crazy. But so we just came through with a different style, different flavor, different taste, and that's what Voided Shake was really about. Going into T.A.R is just what I do now. T.A.R is just my brotherhood right now. You said, oh, what did Voided Shake have to do with VLONE? Voided Shake ain't really have nothing to do with VLONE. Only in the way that it was the first website online. This is pre-Instagram shit. This is coming off MySpace, really. We was started on MySpace and then switched into Tumblr. Motherfucking, it was like the first time expressing ourselves. And then VLONE was really like the first time they got to take us seriously. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately. But I would say that they're equally important in my lineage of creativity, because Voided Shake was the first time I realized that if I put something out, people will actually respond to it. This is pre me making clothes. This is just me buying shit and taking weird pictures of myself and my surroundings, and us doing weird videos and shit, just abstract thoughts, putting different concepts out, tweaking. Which is honestly still the same shit I do to this day. So I guess that's how that equates to each other. T.A.R, like I said, is the next level of all that shit. It's what I'm doing now. It's the way I feel about the culture now, the world now, how I feel my brothers need to work together now, and how I want to use my skills as a tool to make that happen, make the things I want happen, make the things I feel like need to happen for all of us come together. Because really all you could do is what you can, and you got to use what you got. So, word. It was just me and my awakening. All three of those things combined into really saying that that's my story of transitioning from being the person who think he couldn't do anything to being the person who knows he can affect the world.
No doubt. So I want to say, like, when we used to do this Jungle Boy shit, we, like, this you got to think about, like, college in New York City or New York State, upstate. It has been so much things that people could do. And what we realized was that, like, we don't have the full college experience.
Nah.
In New York. Like, we don't have the, like, we're not going crazy. Like, we want to, we're children, no parents. We're on college campus with all these resources. We want to go crazy. We want to have as much fun as we can. And we realized that, like, Buffalo does not offer that. So we wanted to kind of at least feel some of it. So what we as Jungle Boys did was we didn't, because, like, what people was, like, if we were a clique of guys, it's a clique of guys, we call ourselves the Jungle Boys. And that's regular on the college campus. People cook up and they do things. They throw parties and have fun. But we realized that this is not about us. We could make it lit for the campus.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if everybody had that. I'm sure that a lot of people didn't have that mind state that it's like, we can turn the campus up. We can make the campus appreciate the campus. It ain't about us. Like, people are going to realize, people who come during, like, prime Jungle Boy era, like.
Shouts out to Facebook. Facebook played a big part in that. We wanted to put our school on the map. That was a big part of what he's saying, though. Real shit, though. We really wanted to put our makeup.
Because we influenced a lot of people to come. Like, I feel like we influenced, at least the people that was in Jungle Boys, they started bringing their family and stuff. Like, Zay brought Ra, and Ra brought, Kenji, and Kenji brought, Reef, and then, like, the whole family was coming. Yeah, like, because they all had, because imagine if it wasn't us there for each other, it probably would,
We had a whole culture on that campus by that point.
I'm not saying none of them would have came or would have graduated or anything, but, like, I'm sure that we was a big influence on, this is lit, come catch it.
Palooza shits went to y'all school.
Shouts out to PZ, shouts out to my son J.O. Mouse, shouts out to Biggs, Kenny.
Y'all had it lit.
Shouts out to my son.
That era was really lit up there. I remember though.
Those was the big homies. We was tweaking out there, bro.
I ain't never
Yeah, you tripping. Like, anybody who ever just pulled up had a
went to
good
the
time.
school.
Mitchell pulled up and came because he realized how lit it was. So, like, that was the effect we had on the school. We wanted the school, like, we want you to know that you could come here and be lit. So we did a lot of revolutionary things on the campus. You know, like, we did...
We should have got paid for that shit.
We did a lot of things on the campus. We made the campus literally lit. Like, you could have fun on campus. Such as just the dorm parties.
Campus events, nigga. Yeah, fuck a dorm party. We was doing campus events straight up. We had a whole building, 3 flights of apartments. It's 3 apartments stacked on top of each other, and it's a different party in each apartment. And the fucking steps on both sides is the parlay venue. You feel me? We had shit literally on lock. You feel me? Like,
that was called. That was in the dorm called Moore. It was in an apartment complex called Moore Complex.
30-gallon jugs full of random drink.
We called it Moore Crawl because you could crawl to each floor type vibe, and literally, you know, you could literally crawl because you're gonna get smacked on every floor. We had the gallons of the jungle juice, the jigger juice is what we called it.
Shouts out to the Moore Crawl when Quindell slammed the girl's head in the door. I remember that one. Shouts out to that.
So we had a lot of good times. Stuff like that we did. We allowed everyone to come together on campus and enjoy themselves for free, you know, with love, like, you know. And like, it wasn't about us. It wasn't about, oh, we want to get girls. We want guys to come here and know that they're gonna get a joint, big bro. We want girls to come here and know they're gonna get a guy. Like, you feel me? Like, we want everybody to come and leave happily. We're students on campus studying hard. We need to relieve ourselves, and that's how we relieve ourselves, by coming together.
We was trying to affect the culture. We wasn't being selfish. We ain't just want to fuck all the bitches or just be the selfish niggas who's the stars. Oh, those are the fly guys in the school. Oh, look at them. It wasn't like that. We was bigger than that. We understood. Now, it's true. It wasn't like, it was niggas like that already. That's why we was so different. That's why we changed the culture, because everybody realized that, wow, you could be friends with everybody and still be cool and not be like a politician corny. You could just be yourself and like fuck with everybody though.
Right. So that was the Jungle Boys way. Now the Voided Chick. Now, the reason why I asked you, you know, why does it have anything to do with the VLONE, is specifically because of that vibe. It's like before, you know, this was like right before you dropped out.
Of early VLONE shit. We fucking took that shit down, and we took the Tumblr down. But really, it probably was pictures of early VLONE designs that you ended up using that next year, like the year later.
Right.
It was at the same time. That's why I say it's like in the lineage of.
This reason I asked you is because right before you dropped out, we had the Voided Chick. When you dropped out, we deleted the Tumblr. And right before you dropped out is when you began the reconstruction, John. Through the Voided Chick. You began the reconstruction of the jeans through the Voided Chick.
I might have put a Come See Killer ad up on Voided Chick, probably, right? Like, email.
We can never know. We would never know. But I remember you wilding with the clothes in the dorms.
In college,
I actually remember giving you some jeans.
Remember you came upstairs. I was on top floor dyeing the Margellas, the lime green Margellas. At that time, I was still dyeing shit. I dyed like a Y3 sweater. That shit was fire. It was like a milk dye.
I'm trying to remember what jeans I gave you on campus.
Subies, black Subies. You was one of the first people to ever give me jeans to distress.
So this is what I'm saying, and that's
black Subies, and then I told you to go get them shits patched up. Remember you got them patched up after that?
I do remember. And now I remember. The black Subies. That's what the original. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't never forget nothing when it comes to drip.
So that's why I asked you. Does it have anything? That was Voided Chick era. That wasn't VLONE yet.
Nah, it wasn't.
And that's what VLONE.
Really?
That's what VLONE was kind of.
Let's be real. It wasn't even VLONE. It wasn't even mixed in. Voided Chick and VLONE wasn't even mixed in together. It was Voided Chick, Toast to the Gods.
Tight.
It was Toast to the Gods first. Remember we was doing Toast to the God was the whole gene vision.
Tight.
And I was gonna do Toast to the God. What happened was we never ended up doing Toast to the God. I had too many jean designs, and I said, fuck it. If niggas send me some bread, I'm gonna hook niggas up, and then just spread the designs around. And then I ended up killing with that shit. That shit worked to this day. Like, I don't know, like, people love that shit. I love to do the shit. The shit sticks in my mind. Like, I love to see people wearing my jeans. I love to see people having fun in my clothes. And it just transitioned into me having a clothing brand from that small little niche thing.
Right. And that's what but that's kind of how VLONE got recognized, as far as I'm concerned, is the jean joint. You with the jean joint.
But the early VLONE designs, we had gel jackets. We was doing other things. But the jean vision was really toast to the God.
Right.
That was the jean vision.
The toast to the God T, remember?
Yeah, we had the T, but that was a sample. That was
Alright, so that clarifies that. And because this guy right here, if you don't know, we probably didn't speak about this specifically the whole video, has established himself literally by reconstructing clothing. Can take your wear and make it better. Can take your wear and add some flavor to it. That's his niche right there, you feel me?
Or put a story on you. Put a story on your body.
Tight. So that's what he does, you feel me? I don't know if you specifically call yourself a designer.
I'll just be a creator, bro.
Right.
I could create creative ethoses is what I do.
No doubt. I'll just simply say this is a designer for people to understand the creative ethos term. But
we all have a creative ethos. For some reason, people accept certain things and don't accept other things.
Okay.
And sometimes we like things that we don't accept. So that's what your creative ethos is, like a pie chart or whatever. Like, where are you at? Or I'm saying a Venn diagram. What do you like, and how can you tickle somebody, or how can you anger them, or you know what I'm saying? With spaces, with clothes, with, you know what I'm saying, your attitude, with, I don't know, I want to do fragrances, you know what I'm saying? But right now I'm locked into interior design. I always like the way spaces affect conversation and posture and behavior. The way people deal with each other.
Okay. I was just explaining earlier about how, like, I was in a sauna earlier, and like, people like to throw in the shower on super hot and sit in their bathroom and call it a sauna. I'm like, it's kind of not the same, because the environment is not the same. The space. You can do the same thing, but the environment also has a very important role. Like just the fact that you're in a sauna room, is very different from being in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Treating it like a sauna. The environment. Yeah, the environment plays an important role on how you function. Regardless if you could do the same thing in another environment. Like if you could play ball and in your crib with a crate, cut the bottom out and staple it to a tree. It's not a basketball court. It's not a gym.
It's not really, yeah.
It's not a gym.
But when it comes to the interior design and the spaces, the concept that I always liked is that
if you could ball out, you could become the next big thing. Yeah, balling out,
you still gonna have to go to the court.
You still gotta go to the gym and get it in.
Knock it off, bro. Nigga, that's a milk crate.
So, environment does have an important role. So, like, I was just talking about that. So, when you say, you like interior design and how, the shape of a room affects behavior,
the thought,
things like that.
The thought of, the concept of, if you want to know who somebody really is, put them in an uncomfortable situation. You could do that with spaces. Pseudo uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Semi-comfortable, right. Uncomfortable.
Right.
So, if you want people to humble themselves, put them in a room that has no chairs and make everybody sit on the floor.
Right, or stand.
Or stand. Mm. And if people want to stand, then that shows you a little bit about their attitude and how they're feeling in the moment.
That makes me think about the time you took the what you call them Jones?
What's that?
Them joints that people putting under their beds. You took the joint and made a stage out of it at Ducali's.
Oh, the crates, yeah,
They
yeah.
not
yeah.
they kind
The
of
pallets, yeah.
type.
The wooden pallets. Hell
Took the
yeah.
pallets and made a stage.
Word, that was some shit we ended up doing way later in life. We got to lock back in. What was we talking about? What was we was talking about? The early shit though. The early shit. The early design concepts that really affected me. I don't know. I like what is this man's name? Mark Newson. He did a lot of great things. Like a lot of shit that fucked me up. Like iPod. I don't know if you ever seen iPod. Remember I used to be on what was the shit? Not Hypebeast. What's the other shit? High Snow Reality.
Type.
And he used to have like these big glass clocks. It's weird, like the designs and shit was crazy.
Okay.
So that's like the shit. And then in the rooms that they would have the clocks in, the shit would be mad fly. Like just one white leather couch. It would just be like, wait. So like that shit really affected me. Like I'm like, oh, like. And at the time we living in a 1-bedroom, not even a 1-bedroom. We living in a room with 3 people, and I'm like stuck in that shit. Like the fuck. But everybody was cool, but it's still uncomfortable. The space is like horrible. So it makes me think about how much space really affects people and what we need to do to change that. And like, oh, I did grow up in the projects with somebody on top of me, next to me, on all sides of me. That probably did do something mentally to me. So how am I different than people who lived in homes who had an acre? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how you see it as you grow up, and you really, if you tune into it, you can really see it. So that's like a niche market that you could tap into, and that's like interests me since I was young.
Right. That's what's up. I do remember being changing the room 4 or 5 times throughout the year. You know, we'd have bunks.
Yeah, because I couldn't take it.
And then we had beds this way, my bed in the middle, then switched to the next time. And
Exactly.
Remember we went from bed, lined up, and I was like ours.
Yeah.
You know, then we switched up and we put it. I remember the end of the year. That's when I was having them hexes, and like
Niggas gotta do something.
I was next to the door. I remember my bed being next to the door. Like once you walk in, and then like you had to like go to the side, and your bed was always on this side for some reason. And I guess Chris' bed was like, head to toe to my bed type vibe.
I used to want to be on the wall because I didn't want to fall off the bed because it was too small.
Right.
That's why.
So yeah, and that it definitely played a role on how we had to code red